Good morning, grade 5 girls. How are you today? Let's complete our lesson for today. What are the outer planets? Today is Monday, 13 April 2020. All of you open your books and page 288, then 289. We will study this lesson. At the end of the lesson, you will identify the outer planets and you will compare and contrast the characteristics of the outer planets and inner planets. But before I start, I want to show you a video about Uranus.
In ancient times, humans studied the night sky and discovered the worlds of Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. But beyond this realm of knowledge, another world shined brightly, just waiting to be discovered. Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun. From a distance of about 20 astronomical units, or 20 times the distance between Earth and the Sun, Uranus orbits the star once every 84 Earth years, approximately the length of a human's entire life. This orbit causes each season of Uranus to last that much longer. Theoretically, a human living on Uranus would experience the 4 seasons only once, but each for about 21 years. Partially due to its distance from the Sun, Uranus boasts the coldest temperatures in the solar system. These icy temperatures, dropping as low as negative 370 degrees Fahrenheit, are largely influenced by the planet's composition. At about 4 Earths wide, Uranus has an Earth-sized core made of iron and magnesium silicate. The remainder, approximately 80% of Uranus, is a worldwide ocean of ices made of water, ammonia, and methane, the chemical behind the planet's
So the surface of it made of water,
this
ammonia,
icy
methane.
composition prevents Uranus from emitting much heat compared to other planets, making the blue world the solar system's coldest. In addition to its extreme temperatures and orbit, Uranus has a dramatic orientation. While the other 7 planets spin on their axes like tops, Uranus appears to roll along its equator. The planet is tilted at a near right angle, in which polar regions point toward and away from the Sun rather than upward and downward. This tilt, thought to be the result of Uranus's collision with at least one celestial body, has also affected the orientation.
Okay, now let's start with our lesson, Uranus. Here is it, the Uranus. First, we have the 4 outer planets again. Who can remind me? Excellent. Jupiter, then Saturn, then Uranus that we will study today, and Neptune. Uranus. Uranus is the 7th planet from the Sun, as you see in the video. Uranus is a gas giant with an atmosphere, hydrogen, helium, and methane. The planet is so cold, it's about minus 370 degrees. The methane can condense into liquid. Tiny drops of this liquid methane from a thin cloud that cover the planet, giving it fuzzy blue-green look. If you see here, and if you remember the video, fuzzy blue-green look. Uranus. Like other gas giants, Uranus has rings and many moons, unlike the ring of Saturn. The ring of Uranus are dark and hard to see. The ring of Saturn are dark and hard to see with Earth-based telescopes. Uranus rotates on its side. No one knows why Uranus had this odd tilt. Now, scientists think a large object may have hit the planet when the solar system was still forming. This bump knocked Uranus into its side. Now, open your book on page 288 and this underline. Uranus is the 7th planet from the Sun, and the most distant planet you can see without telescope. Uranus is a gas giant with an atmosphere of hydrogen, helium, and methane. The planet is so cold that the methane and can condense into liquid. Also, tiny drops of this liquid methane from a thin cloud that cover the planet, giving it so that you see it in fuzzy blue-green look. So, like the other gas giants, Uranus has ring. The Uranus has ring, but it's dark so that we can see it. The ring of Uranus are dark and hard to see with Earth-based telescope. Uranus rotates on its side. Scientists think that a large object may have hit the planet when the solar system was still forming. This bomb may have knocked Uranus onto its side. Now, this is Uranus. If you see here, it has fuzzy blue-green look. Now, number 4, who can read it for us? Okay. Infer how might Uranus tilt affect its seasons? Excellent. Seasons may be more extreme. Now let's start about Neptune, the last one, the eighth planet. It's the eighth planet from the sun here. Astronomers discovered Neptune in 1846. It takes more than 100 Earth years for Neptune to orbit the sun. So it takes 100 years to orbit the sun. Neptune is the smallest of the gas giants. Even though if Neptune were hollow, it could hold about 60 Earth. Now, Neptune's atmosphere is like that of Uranus. Like Uranus, Neptune has a bluish color here because of the methane. So the methane gives Uranus and Neptune the bluish color. Neptune also has storms and bands of clouds like Jupiter. Neptune has at least 13 moons. Now, the largest one is Triton, which may be coldest object in the solar system. Here, Neptune is too far away to see without telescope. It's the eighth planet from the sun. It takes more than 100 Earth years for Neptune to orbit the sun. Neptune is the smallest of the gas giants. So, if Neptune were hollow, it could hold about 60 Earths. Neptune's atmosphere is like that of Uranus. It has bluish color because of the methane in its atmosphere. Neptune also has storms and band of clouds like Jupiter. Neptune has 13 moons. Now, who can read question number 5? Compare what is the similar about atmosphere of Uranus and Neptune. Both have methane and bluish color. Exploring giants. Several probes have been sent to explore the outer planets. They were launched from Florida. Pioneer 10 and Pioneer 11 were launched in 1970, followed by Voyager 1 and 2. The Galileo probe explored Jupiter in great detail and has sent back a huge amount of information, Okay, a smaller probe named Huygens was launched from Cassini and was able to land on Saturn's largest moon, Titan. What information might you like to have sent from a space probe? I would like, I think, to know the temperature on the moons of Saturn. We know to know the temperature. What about the temperature on the moons of Saturn? Go ahead. Who can read for us question number 7 and answer to take 5 points in Class Dojo? Think of 3 terms to describe some characteristics of the inner planets and outer planets. Use the term contrast the inner and outer planets. Okay, the inner planets are closer to the sun than the outer planets. The outer planets are larger than the inner planets. The inner planets, if you remember, I told you have solid crust, while the outer planets are mostly gas. Who can read also question number 8 and get points in Class Dojo? What are some common characteristics of all planets? Planets are large, round, rotating objects that revolve around stars. So what is it? The planets, again, are large, round, rotating objects that revolve around the star. What is it, that star? The sun is the center of the solar system. Now here, I want to show you here a video from Pearson account.
Our solar system is made up of 8 planets. There are 4 inner planets and 4 outer planets. The outer planets are much larger than the inner planets. These planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The outer planets are often called gas giants because they don't have clearly defined rocky surfaces. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system and appears to have bands of color. Its atmosphere contains mostly hydrogen and helium. Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun. Saturn is very large and has many orbiting rings. Like Jupiter, Saturn's atmosphere is mostly hydrogen and helium. The 7th planet, Uranus, has an atmosphere that contains hydrogen, helium, and methane. This planet is a blue-green color because of a thin cloud of liquid methane covering the entire planet. The furthest and smallest of the outer planets is Neptune. Like Uranus, Neptune is a bluish color because of the methane in its atmosphere. Got it? Sure you do.
Thank you, my dear students, for listening. Tomorrow we have another new lesson